classic Italian dish, Bolognese. Traditionally, Bolognese is a very simple dish. In Australia, we try and beef up the flavour of the sauce as much as we possibly can, and that's what I'm doing with this one. It is slightly different in that we're not going to use tinned tomatoes and we're not going to use a jar of pasta sauce. All right, pan on. So onion and garlic. I'm going to use garlic infused olive oil as well to try and intensify that flavour. So really, you're thinking about with this dish, every opportunity you get, trying to boost the flavour. And that's basically what the dish is about. Our onion and our garlic. Saute that for a couple of minutes until it's translucent, and then we'll add in our meat. You want a beef mince and a pork mince that's got a decent amount of fat content. Fat is what's going to drive the flavour in this dish because, and again, traditionally, something we were talking about a little while ago as well here in the kitchen, was adding milk to Bolognese. And the reason why you add milk to Bolognese, you need to add a high fat milk. So you can almost get away with adding a little bit of cream, just pure cream, is you're trying to increase the amount of fat content that's in the sauce so that it coats your mouth so that that fat carries the flavour a little bit further. The coral tooth mushroom here is the one that I'm going to use, just because I think that the texture of it is going to work well in this dish. So again, you're adding a meaty flavour. Chestnut mushrooms you could probably put in there and get away with it. Why not? Let's do, as soon as we've got them, we might as well use them. Great flavour in a chestnut mushroom, actually flavour that would go really well in a dish like this. So once we've got some colour on our mushrooms, then we can add our protein, our beef and our pork. Cook that out, and then, like I said, all of the tomato flavour is coming from tomato paste. So we'll cook out our tomato paste. Probably going to add a little bit more than that. I've got half a cup of tomato paste there. I'm probably going to add three quarters of a cup of tomato paste. Cook that out, and then add in our red wine deglaze and our stock, and just load that up, and then let it bubble away, simmer, and almost braise in that stock until you reduce the stock by half. You start to get the consistency that you want in your Bolognese sauce.
Give it to me.
I cooked my meat mixture out until I had some really good colour on it. It was nice and dark. Then I cooked off my tomato paste, added a decent amount of tomato paste in there. It's probably 3/4 of a cup to a cup of tomato paste, and then cooked that out. Make sure you cook that tomato paste out, otherwise it'll be a little bit acidic if you don't cook out that sort of the raw tomato in there and caramelise it a little bit to sweeten it up. And then the final ingredient that I'm going to add in is just some fresh herbs. So I've got some fresh parsley and some fresh oregano. So that's got probably 15 minutes to reduce. So my pasta, by the time my water gets to the boil, will take 10 minutes. So from this point on, once that pasta is ready, the dish will be ready. All right, my tomato base on my Bolognese sauce has sort of reduced down to what I want it to be, so I'm happy with that. Tasted it, my seasoning's right. Now there are a couple of options you can do here. You can do sort of the classic, put your pasta on the bowl and then spoon the Bolognese sauce on top, or you can mix the pasta with the sauce. I like to mix the pasta with the sauce because then I know I've got the seasoning right for the whole dish. So I know I've got, once I mix that pasta through, I know everything's balanced. So I need to add some more salt, do I need acidity, all of those normal things. So I can turn that off. I'm going to take my pasta and some pasta water into my sauce. So this is very Australian. You see how intense that flavour is and how much sauce, meat sauce there is in that dish. That is something that we love in Australia, not so much in Italy. All right, nice. All right, so my really rich Bolognese made in a classic style, but with a very Australian tweak to it in boosting all of those classic flavours. So try that one at home, see what you think of making a bolognese without any tinned tomatoes or a jar of bolognese sauce, and see if you like that. It is a different flavour, like I said, it's a very umami, very strong, very intense flavour, but for an Australian palate, I think it works. All right, see you next time on Left Off the Mat.